Izuku Midoriya, the symbol of hope, the heir to One for All, the man who proved to the world a quirkless boy could save it. When his legs moved before he could even think, marked the start of his journey to becoming the greatest hero in the world. Today we're going to be answering the question, how strong is he? Before we start with the symbol of hope, we're going to have to do some scaling with the prior symbol of peace. We're going to use some of All Might's feats as a way for Izuku to scale up to them. It'll be like a baseline that he goes up to, and I'll let you know when he passes it. All Might's first major display of power is also one of the biggest feats in the entire series. This happens when he saves Deku and Bakugo from the Sludge Monster. His punch had enough force to change the weather and cause it to rain. Keep in mind, he is probably suppressing himself so no one gets hurt. This feat will require 540 million tons of TNT, which is calced around mountain level to even island levels of power. I've seen people highball this feat to country, but we're not going to go to those ranges. We'll just mid-ball it and say it's island level. Then, in All Might, this will make Prime All Might a baseline multi-continental. Now we've set the baseline for Deku, so let's get into his scaling. Deku's first major feat is when he first uses One for All when he punches the villain bot. This feat is calced around city block to large city block levels of power. But this is a low tier feat anyway, so we'll just quickly move on from it. From this point on, Deku doesn't really have any amazing feats, with a few honorable mentions being him taking on Bakugo in the strong part of the building, and him going head to head with Todoroki in the sports festival. His next great feat comes from the first movie, Two Heroes. He and All Might combine their powers to destroy Wolfram structure thing, and that scales to around island level if you look at the sizes of it, but this really isn't a full Deku feat since he had All Might aiding him in it. So since he was about 50% of this attack, I'll grant it towards him being mountain level, and that's what we'll give him for this. From this point on, there's a bit of quiet time in his feats, so we'll go over a bit of speed now. Now the speed scaling for MXA is a bit iffy. It's generally considered to be above the speed of light, but some people downplay it to be about hypersonic plus, so the current Deku that we're at right now is calculated to be anywhere from subsonic to transonic levels of power in the Mach range. In the movie Two Heroes, he's shown to dodge an automatic gun's bullets at point blank range using only 5% of One for All, so consistently he should be able to Mach speeds with relative ease. Now back to the screen scaling. In between the first movies and now, he fought Stain and Muscular, becoming stronger in many different ways. So now we'll talk about the Season 4 feats. Towards the beginning of Season 4, he unlocked the shoot style, allowing him to fight more versatility so he didn't hurt his arms. And then, the biggest feat in this whole entire season happens towards the end of it. When Deku uses the power of Eri, he could use 100% of One for All infinitely against Overhaul. Now this is a feat that showed Deku's potential while using 100% of One for All, almost in full control of it. It doesn't fully demonstrate a power that can be scaled higher than about town level, but it highlights his potential. Then we have the Endeavor training arc where Deku furthers his mastery over One for All. Now is Deku getting close to All Might? He sure is inching there, but not quite. And then we get into the second movie scaling. Probably the second greatest feat in the whole entire series happens. When everything seemed lost while Deku and Bakugo were fighting 9, Deku gave Bakugo One for All and they combined their powers to destroy the storm cloud that covered the island. This feat is kept anywhere between borderline island level to even continental depending on how you interpret the imaginary view of the cloud from Earth's atmosphere. Though this is a shared feat, so we can give 50% of it to Deku like in the first movie, making him consistently island level plus at 100%. And now we're at a good time to talk about speed feats. There are some great instances in this movie. This movie makes a great case for Deku being faster than light in terms of reaction, because consistently Deku can dodge Nine's lasers, which are light-based attacks, making Deku sub-relativistic to relativistic plus. If you believe that Aoyama's laser is actually made of light, which has been proven to be the case on multiple occasions, then Deku has already well surpassed the speed of light, being speed of light to even faster than light plus at highball. He also has many other laser dodging feats in the third movie, which should further solidify his FTL plus scaling. So Deku is now even closer to being on par with All Might in his prime. In the final war arc, it is shown that incomplete Shigaraki with his physical stats alone is comparable to Prime All Might, and Deku at 45% could fight on par with him and evenly with him while using 100%. Now we'll go back to some speed scaling. After the first war arc, later on in the Dark Deku arc, he can perception dodge leading against bullets, which are easily in the supersonic to hypersonic ranges based off the calcs from her distance from Deku at the time, and Deku could blitz her via his fog-team 100% fall to save Overhaul. So his combat and reaction speed are consistently faster than Light Plus, and his travel speed as of now is anywhere from hypersonic plus to sub-relativistic. Now we're reaching the end game of things, so let's move back onto the stream scaling. Prior to Season 7, where the final war starts, in the 4th movie, Your Next, Deku destroys Dark Knight's platform with only pure 1-for-all and no amps from Gear Shifter Fajin. This feat is calculated from country level to even continental due to the platform covering a lot of Japan, and Deku does it fully alone, with it being his first large feat done solo, though this isn't the strongest feat yet. I also forgot to talk about this too, but when Star and Stripes fought Shigaraki, she made the big air clone of herself and got the laser to do the intercontinental attack. This feat is continental because of the name, and you see the wide-scale damage of it, and Shigaraki tanked this. And him tanking this feat will play a big role later on in the scaling. So let's move on to Season 7 scaling. In the final chapters of the manga, Deku would finally reveal his gear shift work. And while only being at 45%, he could heavily damage a perfect vessel state Shigaraki. And then combined with his Fajin, he used 120% of 1-for-all to destroy Shigaraki, followed up by stored up quintuple smash, and then he used complete 100% of 1-for-all to demolish Shigaraki, completely destroying him out of his finger state. Mind you, an incomplete Shigaraki who's far weaker than his current Shigaraki tanked an intercontinental attack. This would mean that Deku's punch that he just used on him is at least continental plus at low ball. This final feat marking the point where he surpassed Prime All Might, though he still has not reached his peak yet. A little bit before going toe-to-toe with Shigaraki that had access to his quirks, he sent Bakugo over to save All Might from All For One with the low gears of Gear Shift. And Deku would scale to this due to it being his Gear Shift quirk, making his travel speed relativistic to even faster than Light Plus. Now back to the main topic. Deku went head-to-head with Shigaraki, who had access to all his quirks, even having the power to kill him, but chose not to for the sake of doing the right thing. This would lead to him giving Shigaraki the quirks one for all, until Deku and Shigaraki went to the Vestige mode. This would lead to Deku losing his arms, and All For One gaining control over Shigaraki's body. Lucky enough though, Eri, with her horn, was able to restore Deku's arms, and then eventually, with help from Todoroki, Bakugo, and Shigaraki himself, and finally with the last embers of 1-for-all, Deku is able to put an end to All For One once and for all. With this punch being so strong it altered the weather and storm clouds across the whole entire globe. This feat will be calculated around moon level to even planetary levels of power, because it would take over 1.2 to about 4 exatons of TNT. So overall, low ball Deku's country level to continental, and his attack potency and durability with sub-relativistic to relativistic speeds, and his mid-ball being multi-continental to moon level, attack potency and durability with speed of light to faster than light speeds, and finally his high ball being moon level to even planetary levels of power with faster than light to much faster than light speeds. So now we know just how strong the Symbol of Hope is. And with that, I conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, as this was my 6,000 subscriber special. And I'd also like to thank everyone for the support in my journey. Comment down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.